put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning.
Good morning, viewers, and welcome back. It is 7:37 a.m. this morning here on the Tobago Updates Morning Show, coming to you live from the Port Mall in Scarborough, Tobago. Viewers, at this point, we head on into our interview this morning with, we should have on the line, joining us online, Nikita Mohammed, Program Coordinator of the Spotlight Initiative. And that's a Spotlight Initiative happening here in Tobago and other parts in Trinidad as well. So it's Trinidad and Tobago. And we also have on with us, as I am seeing here, none other than Collis Hazel. And I know this is a man that wears many hats. So he will tell us in what capacity that he's also here this morning. Good morning to you both.
Good morning.
Right, good morning to you. Collis Hazel, hearing us loud and clear? All right, so we just probably have to double check there with Collis. Good morning to you, Nikita.
Good morning.
All right, so as we get started this morning, we're beginning the conversation in relation to you're the program coordinator of the Spotlight Initiative. So for those who are not familiar, I want you to start off by giving us a little summary in relation to what is the Spotlight Initiative.
Thank you very much, and good morning to you and to your listeners and viewers. The Spotlight Initiative is a global United Nations initiative with a very ambitious goal of ending violence against women and girls, ending gender-based violence. Here, Trinidad and Tobago is one of 6 Caribbean countries that has received funding from the program, and it's being implemented with very generous support from the European Union and, of course, in collaboration with the Trinidad and Tobago government and civil society partners. The Spotlight Initiative launched in Trinidad and Tobago in early 2020, and we are now in our final year of implementation. And so we have a lot of ambitious goals to achieve before the end of this year and before the end of the program.
Collis Hazel, good morning to you, sir. So we still seem to be having a little challenge there. So Nikita, I want you to tell us a little further. You said that this initiative would have started in which year?
It started early 2020 when we launched, when we received cabinet approval to implement the program.
What the progress has been, bearing in mind, the pandemic and other factors that would have taken place from that timing you're mentioning in terms of when it would have been started. Tell us, how has the impact and the efforts been thus far?
Well, I would say we've had a lot of support from working with government, working with our civil society partners. It has been an uphill battle, and we've encountered many challenges. We started the program right when COVID hit us. And so we had to reprogram and rethink many of our objectives in light of the increased risk for victims by being forced to stay at home with their perpetrators and their abusers. I think we've achieved quite a bit in this last 3 years, and in our final year of implementation, we still have a number of goals that we want to accomplish. We've been working with our civil society partners, our government partners, through the United Nations to execute a number of programs, including having psychosocial counseling provided for over 1,000 persons, having prevention work, working with our men and boys, strengthening some of our policies and laws, working with the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service and the judiciary, providing training to these essential actors, and strengthening the women's movement. So I think we have quite a lot that we can, proudly boast, despite the numerous challenges.
Regarding some of your primary target areas as this initiative is rolled out across Trinidad and Tobago.
So we actually are targeting our efforts at 3 main communities. So that's Tobago, Tunapuna, Piaku, and the Miaro Rio Claro Regional Corporation. And the reason for that is during the design phase of the program, we wanted to ensure that we tailored this global program to the very unique context of specific regions in Trinidad and Tobago. And we also wanted to ensure that we incorporated the key principle of the Spotlight Initiative, which is leaving no one behind. So ensuring that we were targeting the most underserved communities, the communities that tended to be the most marginalized, and that we were going to garner some of the lessons from focusing our efforts in these three areas so that we can actually have programs later on that would benefit the entire country. But there are many interventions under the very extensive program that are benefiting the entire country, which includes the work, as mentioned, with the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, with the health sector, with the judiciary, and with various other state agencies.
These would be described as some of your major partners in this initiative for what you're striving to achieve. If
Well,
you
we have numerous.
Go ahead.
Thank you. We have numerous partners, so state agencies, the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, as mentioned, the judiciary, the Ministry of Health and the regional health authorities, the Ministry of Education, the Ministry of Social Development, Ministry of Planning. We've been working very, very closely with the women's movement because, of course, it's the women's movement that has been advocating on this issue for so many years. And, of course, working with our international development partners here in Trinidad and Tobago.
All right. One of the areas that we want to touch on, I see you have outlined here as part of your overall goals for the Spotlight Initiative, reducing family violence, ensuring integrated quality and accessible services, and facilitate robust prevention approaches. Tell us a little bit about this specific in relation to the interventions here in Tobago.
Sure, thanks so much. So I would say, and it's unfortunate that Collis is not able to join us, but we've one of the partners that has been such a firm supporter of the initiative is the Roxborough Police Youth Club. For instance, I'm here now in Tobago because we have been supporting the Roxborough Police Youth Club with a number of interventions. They've just launched their Project Tomorrow, which is focused on gathering data specifically from Tobago East on perceptions and attitudes around domestic violence, and then using that data to inform a training and sensitization program for men and boys in Tobago East, and then potentially getting these men and boys that have been trained to act as champions and advocates in their schools, eventually in their workplaces, and then in their wider communities, and of course in their homes. So that's just one intervention, and we are working across a number of different civil society actors, such as Roxborough, across the three communities. In Tobago, we have also been providing psychosocial services and counseling for survivors of violence, including for the migrant and refugee population. The migrant and refugee population also has access to a bilingual hotline that we have provided. We have been working with the Tobago House of Assembly and the Tobago Regional Health Authority to train social workers and healthcare workers to improve their quality of care for survivors that access the health sector. And we have been working very closely with the GBV unit as well as other units within the police to strengthen their services and to provide gender responsive policing. So a number of different interventions that have been taking place in Tobago, and we're hoping that by the end of the program, these actors can continue a number of their initiatives, even post Spotlight.
How does the general public get involved, or others hearing of this Spotlight initiative and recognizing, hey, Roxborough Police Youth Club is on board? This sounds like a very good initiative, because we know Roxborough Police Youth Club is one of our youth organizations that really has a far and a wide reach in terms of making its contribution. How do others get involved who may be hearing of this, whether as individual citizens or other groups and organizations?
So I would say that it's not just the Roxborough Police Youth Club. We actually received recommendations from the Tobago House of Assembly for a number of different other youth groups and civil society groups in Tobago that really needed just some support to strengthen their operations. And so they're actually now involved in our capacity building program that has been running since 2021 and is now in phase 2. And so they're learning different tools and techniques, and such as recruiting volunteers to assist with their operations, managing their boards, developing project proposals, and learning from one another. So these groups, civil society groups, if they would like to learn more about the Spotlight Initiative and contact us, they can check out the website spotlightinitiative.org, and then visit the Trinidad and Tobago page. So that's the global page, and then Trinidad and Tobago has a specific sub page of that global website. And so they can check us out there. Please also feel free to visit UN Trinidad and Tobago on social media. That's on, we're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. And they can learn more about the Spotlight Initiative and the different interventions that we have going on and how they can get involved.
Really sorry that we couldn't get Collis Hayes jumping in here in the mix. I know he would have been happy to share. We're going to try again. Collis Hayes, are you hearing us? Good morning. All right, no, we're still having some technical challenges out there. But just before we close off this morning's interview, any other key areas that you would like to highlight, Nikita Mohammed?
Sure. I just want to mention that, at the end of this program, I've mentioned that this is a United Nations program with very generous support from the European Union. But at the end of the day, this is a national program at this point. This is 3 years into implementation. And this is now a Trinidad and Tobago program, and it represents the largest investment that we have ever received as a country to tackle family violence. So we really want to ensure that by the end of this, we have all hands on deck to continue to fight for this, because as we know, this is a long-term goal. At the end of the program, we're not necessarily going to have reduced levels of family violence, although that would have been a very ambitious goal to attain. So it really requires that, building on the foundation that we have created, that the actors here on board, the women from the women's movement, from civil society, from government, state agencies, etc., will continue this ambitious work.
All right. Thank you so much there. And remind us of contact information for the Spotlight Initiative, Nikita Mohammed.
Sure. So you can check out the website, spotlightinitiative.org. You can also reach out to me at my email address. That's nikita.mohammed@one.un.org. So persons can feel free to contact me if they would like to get access, for instance, to our newsletter. We publish a newsletter on a quarterly basis and share updates of our numerous interventions across the country. And then please feel free as well to check out our social media pages. That's UN Trinidad and Tobago on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Thank you so much there, Nikita Mohammed, Program Coordinator of the Spotlight Initiative, joining us here on set on the Tobago Updates morning show. All right, viewers, and as a reminder, we indicate that the Eco-Industrial Development Company of Tobago, EDCOT, wishes to advise the public of a full-scale emergency simulation exercise on Thursday, the 23rd of March, 2023, between the hours of 9 a.m. and 12 noon at the Cove Tobago Eco-Industrial Business Park, Cano Bay Road, Lowlands, Tobago. So the EDCOT is reminding us of a full-scale emergency simulation exercise that takes place on Tuesday, the 23rd of March, 2023, between the hours of 9 a.m. and 12 noon at the Cove Tobago, and that's a facility down there at Cano Bay Road in Lowlands, Tobago. So that's just a gentle reminder to each and every one of you, and that's going to be taking place on Tuesday of this week. And for those of you that tuned in a bit late this morning, we want to remind you certainly that the Tobago updates, we are all for, and let me put it this way, we are not about censorship at all. And those are for the message for persons who have been inquiring in relation to Friday's live. Just as an indication, a reminder to persons, as we mentioned earlier, that the live would have been blocked and certainly it's not accessible on the basis of Facebook for copyright reasons. Tobago Updates is certainly not about censorship, and we have submitted a dispute, and we are looking forward to a resolution to allow you, our loyal viewers, to continue to have access to all our information and material and content that's out there. So for those of you worried about the fact, why would they have removed the live? I want to go back and see it. I want to get all the comments. I want to see the details. We're giving you a gentle reminder because we've been getting messages as well as calls are coming in, asking consistently. So we're just advising all our viewers, as soon as the matter is resolved, we look forward to having it available once again for the benefit of all. So we thank you so much for the continued love and support. I see joining us here on the live this morning, Julia Brown, Heather Cook, Godfrey, Auntie Dora out there, Daniel, Biana, Donil, Listra in the mix this morning. Auntie Donut connected with us. Yes, Rhea on the live. Morning to you. Rhea Richardson, George. I also see Rhea Orr. And I almost went on there with that name, but I'll behave on air this morning, Rhea Orr. All right, Pearl Murray Baird, Cleon McPherson, Liesel James, QQ Melville. We want to say morning to each and every one of you. And to thank you so much, folks. All of you are at home. Those of you tuned in via TV. Those of you listening in on the radio. And those of you on your various devices, we want to thank you consistently and continually for choosing the Tobago Updates morning show, and to remind you that this is your opportunity to share the live, share the live, share the live.